For a lot of artists, it's kind of felt like the current art space is not a safe space to be posting your work because of so many people who are insistent on using Gen AI to try to go and steal and scrape your data and your imagery. Let's delve into this situation. So this was posted on Threads by artist Kay Bowsy, and this went pretty viral, like 1.8 thousand likes on Threads. And Kay writes, I haven't been able to make a post like this because the only way to show you guys how these tips don't work anymore is to run my art through AI, and I'm not doing that. A thread. And it's a post, and the little possum is so cute. And it reads, Art theft, how AI has made it impossible to protect your own artwork. So Kay writes, common tips people give to artists to prevent art theft is to 1. Watermark your work, 2. Upload low-res photos, 3. Put small watermarks throughout your art. And Kay writes, these do not work anymore at all. I made this post on Threads the other day, and they write, responding to comments like this will never get old, lol. And they attached a photo of their post where you can see it is a t-shirt where it says, hold on partner, I'm overstimulated. There is a really cute capybara with a pink hat and a pink bandana tied around its neck, and it looks like it's kind of crying. And then they added, this was a screenshot of my design. As you can see, it's low quality, blurry, with harsh shadows and wrinkles. And wow, it says, within a few hours, somebody had stolen this design from this post and was commenting their link under my post. And this looks supposed brand new burner account says, hey, here's a t-shirt I made for you. It's ready. And it's a link to an Etsy shop with the same design run through AI. You can tell it's a little bit different. There's some wrinkling happening on the capybara. There are some detail differences. And then they link an Etsy shop. And this is the Etsy shop where they were selling the shirt for $8.40. And Kay writes, here is what AI was able to give them based on that screenshot alone. And oh my God, that's so scary. And here's the side by side. And it reads, do you really think a watermark is going to stop AI? And it adds, I know this may be overwhelming and quite cynical, but I want everyone to be aware of how powerful AI is becoming and how many people know how to abuse it. Well, what can we do to stop this? I don't know. I really don't know. If you have any tips that actually help, please comment them. All I know is I'm an artist and I can't let this stop me. I don't want this to stop other artists either. And they add, also, these thieves will gaslight you and try to make you feel bad for standing your ground. Don't fall for it. And here are some messages. Oh my God. Look at these messages, by the way, on a complete side note, the audacity. This message reads, first of all, I sincerely apologize for this infringement. As a small family-run business, I understand that using your protected IP without permission was a mistake. Please understand it was not a deliberate attempt to harm your brand, but rather stem from a lack of sufficient knowledge regarding licensing and usage rights. Immediately upon receiving the notification, I permanently removed the infringing items from my shop. I conducted a thorough review to ensure that other items in my inventory did not infringe on your or anyone else's rights. I am committed to creating only 100% original designs going forward. The suspension of my shop has impacted our family business. I request that you withdraw the complaint filed with Etsy, as I fully complied with your request and am confident this mistake will never happen again. Which, like, dude, what in the hell is this, right? Not the I'm a small family run business. Dude, being a small family run business doesn't give you an excuse to steal other people's work and run it through AI and put it on a bunch of t-shirts. Hello? That gives you zero excuse. Honestly, less of an excuse, because you should probably understand what it's like to be a small artist trying to make it in this world and not, I don't know, infringe on other people's rights. Never okay for anybody to do it. Not this person being like, you're hurting my small business. You hurt the artist business by taking their work and running it through AI. Now you're trying to make other people feel bad for you? You're trying to make the artist feel bad for you for what you did? What do you mean you didn't know that it's, oh, not okay to steal other people's artwork? Come on, this is like basic etiquette number 101. And here's another message where it says, hey, Kaylee, we used a design that we were not aware belonged to you, and our Etsy account was suspended as a result of your complaint. We need your help. I would like to discuss this matter and explain myself. My intention was not to disrespect your work or steal your design. Dude, so then what was your intention? Hello? I don't understand. The math is not mathing. What in the gaslighting is happening over here in these messages? Kay adds, if you want to help artists, please follow and share their art from the source. The best way to help is sharing our work and getting our names out there so people know who we are. Want to support me and my art? Skedaddle on over to my shop, link in bio. Which also I want to add, Kay's art is stunning. Oh my God, I love cute, silly art, and this gives me so much joy. What the heck? Strawberry jams, but my gun don't. This is so freaking cute. I'll have their shop link down below if you would like to go check them out because this is so cute. And Kay adds, once I saw somebody else do it with such a poor quality screenshot of my design on a shirt, I knew I had to turn it into a post to show everyone that these tips are outdated. There's nothing I have personally found that works to protect your art from AI. The best thing we can do is educate and build a community who knows us as artists, so when their art is stolen, hopefully other people recognize it as such. And people in the comments are literally dogging on like what the thief said. Quote, my intent was not to steal your work or infringe on your design, end quote. What was their intent then? I'm sorry this happened to you. This is the most frustrating nonsense, and it sucks because people like this have no shame. And I personally agree. I feel like the intent from that company probably was to steal until they couldn't get away with it. And it probably was a situation where, oh no, they got caught, so now they pull the, oh my bad, I didn't know excuse, but they probably knew damn well. Come on, I don't buy the excuse, I didn't know stealing wasn't okay. Because, hello, that is literally common sense. Another person adds, the thing is that pisses me off the most is that they couldn't even lie to your face themselves. They had ChatGPT generate their lies for them. Which I agree, I think the cadence of what's being written here is so odd. Specifically this message. Immediately after receiving the notification, I permanently removed the infringing items from my shop. I conducted a thorough review to ensure something about that writing reads really ChatGPT to me. It just does. And if you guys get that vibe, let me know what, if you have something more specific to pinpoint. It's again the cadence. It's like X, Y, this, that. Because of this, then that. You know, immediately after receiving the notification. That's just an awkward line to write. I feel like a human would just be like, oh, you know, I'm so sorry. Like immediately after you told me about this, I did this, I did this. But the pacing of the way this is structured is very odd to me. And the commenter continues, don't fall for it. I know you, this is for other artists reading. Do not let them guilt trip you or beg ignorance. They are lying. They know they're stealing and counting on getting away with it. Hold their butts to the fire. So the general advice that people were giving in the comment section is to both glaze and nightshade your work simultaneously. So both. But even then people were saying that that's not very protective towards image to image prompting, as in somebody took your image and then tried feeding it into an AI to then have them recreate the image in some way, which is what happened unfortunately to Kay here. At the end of the day, as an artist, it just feels so bad when you're in a situation where it feels like the cards are stacked against you and that literally every step you take, the scammers take two more steps, you know, to try to go and do some more thieving and theft, etc. And I don't like it when people say, well, just don't post your work online then. Like, you should have never posted. The beauty of being an artist is building a community around the art you create and finding other like-minded creatives and people who enjoy the art you make. All of that is lost if you don't get to show your art anywhere. And it just feels bad where it's, again, I don't like that narrative because it feels like it's pointing fingers towards the artist, being like, well, it's your fault for posting. No, it's not. It's the thieves' fault for trying to go and take people's work and run it through AI anyways, and then turn around and gaslight the artist about it. It just sucks all around. But I found this other thing on Twitter that went really viral. It was a really funny situation also about AI. And it's this post that reads, imagine paying $300 for a college textbook and there's an effing ChatGPT prompt response in there. Take a look at this. Here's a textbook and it says, if you want, I could also explain columns, primary keys, or other DBMS terms. Here is a clear and simple explanation of a column in DBMS. And this is a little explanation. This looks to be some sort of like data science textbook or something. Dude, what in the world is this? People are using ChatGPT to go write textbooks now? The top comment says, this should be considered an academic sin, with similar consequences as plagiarism. Another person writes, imagine paying $50,000 for college when ChatGPT can teach you all the same things for free. And another person said, should be a major class action lawsuit regarding this. Textbooks invariably may as well be obsolete, especially if this is how we're going about it. That is actually something else. I think it's very interesting because there are some comments really pro AI as well, right? Being like, well, you should use AI to write textbooks because like it's so much faster. It could articulate things better, blah, blah, blah. I don't think you should. And I think it comes to the issue of, well, one, what people are paying for is the education you're providing in the book, right? That is scraped from like the lived experiences of those that put together the book, etc. But also because ChatGPT can be wrong. And that is the core issue at the end of the day, because a textbook is supposed to be the most up-to-date information of knowledge that students will then use as material to learn from. It essentially becomes the Bible for them, right? The truth that is taught to them in whatever classroom they're using this textbook in. You learn this as the correct fact. And the truth is, ChatGPT is wrong a lot of times due to the fact that it's scraping data from the internet. There's a lot of incorrect data on the internet. And one thing that you do learn in English class, etc., is how to peer review and double check your sources. And typically, textbooks are viewed as like a very primary source of being correct. And ChatGPT is not, because it can be inaccurate. It can pull incorrect information. And at least personally, if it were me, if I saw this in my textbook, I feel like I wouldn't be able to trust the textbook anymore. And I think at least that's an interesting juxtaposition, at least personally again, because a lot of people view AI as like superior and the highest level of intellect, but I personally view it with a high level of scrutiny because a lot of AI is wrong and incorrect in many ways, and it would make me not be able to trust what else is in this textbook. It's not something you should be feeling towards educational materials. And on another step, it just shows that this textbook also has a lack of editing, because that meant nobody else reread through this textbook to catch this. Which, if you didn't edit and proofread the textbook, why is this something that is being distributed to schools as teaching material? Again, I don't know the context of what this textbook is being used for, but if this indeed is a textbook used in colleges, that is very concerning. So with all of this, what are your thoughts on these two situations? I would love to hear in the comment section with respect down below. I'll have the artist story link down below if you'd like to go check them out, because their shirts and designs are so stinking cute. I love it so much. I love me a cute little silly design. So absolutely love it, and show them all the love and support that they deserve. And with that, if you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy. I have digital art there for streamers, creators. I also have a coffee with free resources like a free sponsorship guide. And I stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays and Saturdays at 6 p.m., Thursdays at 7:30. So I hope to catch y'all there or in another video. Peace.